Welcome. Today we're gonna be making a tier list. Well, I've made a tier list of all the movies I've watched this year. I just really felt like talking about movies, and no one wants to listen to me talk about movies unless you clicked on this. So these are the movies I've watched. Let me explain my tiers so you understand how my brain works, because most people don't. S, A, B, C, D. The same letters as a normal one, but I added a twist because I like wasting my time. Smash. So good, I wanna you know what smash means. You know what people do when they smash. That's how good the movie is. Alcohol. My A-list movies is like alcohol. It's as good as drinks, parties, that good. You want to have a party watching the movie while drinking alcohol. It's so good. It's like being an alcoholic. Breakfast. Okay, so breakfast can be good, but it also can be like mid, I'm not much of a breakfast person, but I am at the same time. Like when I have a good breakfast, it's good, but it's never my favorite meal. So breakfast is B. It's like 70%. Cake. I don't really like cake. Cake is mid, so my C list is cake. Like it's okay sometimes, but I'm not someone to eat cake. I like taste it and be like, nah, not for me, And then my D is die. It just makes me want to die. No, it's as bad as dying. No. Death is this movie. No, I do not explain death. I've never experienced it, but this movie reminds me of it. Okay, let's start. Everything, everywhere, all at once. It was quite good. I get why people have the hype, but I watched it with my stepdad who didn't enjoy it, which made me pick up that energy that made it not as enjoyable because he doesn't like weird things. But I'm so into weird things. So I am a weird person in general. So I'm gonna put an A. It's a good movie to drink alcohol to. It's like being an alcoholic, that movie. Like I want to try it again and again in different circumstances. Hunger Games. It was really good. I really enjoyed Hunger Games. Maybe I'm just basic. I'm like that age that enjoys that movie. I wish I was her, okay? There's my truth. Are we done here? The Sea Beast. This movie is a smash as well. Well, no. It was good as alcohol. I watched this twice in a row because I thought it was really good. But is it as iconic as the B movie or How to Train Your Dragon, which is really similar to it? No. I cry in a lot of cartoon movies, and that's just one that made me cry. The Batman. Cake. It's just, I'm over superhero movies, to be honest. I used to be a huge superhero person. Now I don't give a fuck. And he had no personality. When he wasn't Batman, he was boring. The person who I would like to see a movie about is Catwoman. She just was iconic and she was sexy and she was the star of the show for me. Because when she came on, she was the personality. She had the sass that Batman lacked, and I think she can do better. The Addams Family. So I don't know if you've ever binge watched movies before. I binge watched The Addams Family. I watched 1 or 2 episodes of Wednesday and I was like, okay, this is cool. Then my friend was like, no, you have to watch The Addams Family. So I ended up going home, watching the first movie, thinking it was so good that I watched the second movie, thought it was so good that I watched an original episode of the series when it was black and white. I just thought it was really funny. I'm gonna put this one here because I think Values is a little bit better. I thought it was just so clever.
But if he's not Uncle Fester, then who is he? Somebody else. It has to warm up. Why? So it can kill you. I knew that.
I can't watch Wednesday anymore. I think it's cringe compared to how good these are. It Follows. It wasn't alcohol or smashing. It was like breakfast. Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm just lazy about breakfast and I'm lazy about this movie, I guess. Most horror movies are kind of mid, and this is above mid. If I had to try and describe it, if a horror movie and an STD had a baby, it would be called It Follows. And it's that movie right there. Pride and Prejudice. Okay, die is a little bit dramatic. I'm just gonna change this to kinda, just to make it less dramatic. I used to enjoy Pride and Prejudice. Maybe I'm too young, but I didn't understand what the fuck they were saying.
It is a pity she's not more handsome. Mama? Oh, but Lizzie will never admit that she's plain. Of course, it's my Jane who is considered the beauty of the cow.
If someone forced me to watch this again, I would say yes. But would I choose to watch this again? No. You know what it did teach me? Is Shakespeare actually that deep, or does he just speak like everyone back then? Like, it did make me question that. He's just an old guy who wrote a bunch of plays that we think he's deep and he has his own Bible. But actually, it's just a Bible for every English word that they spoke then. You see? Controversial, but true, maybe. I don't know. I was just really invested into Hunger Games this year because I could live vicariously through Katniss. She gives freaking Hawkeye a run for his money. Babadook. Cake. I was disappointed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just was told my whole life this is the scariest horror movie, and when I watched it, I wasn't that scared. It's clever because like that concept of very basic story with the complicated characters, that's kind of the vibe. I just thought the son was irritating, and the mom. I've seen really good horror movies that this one just didn't stand out to me. Exactly like Cake, it just doesn't stand out to me. Corpse Bride. Breakfast. I watched this randomly. It was good. She's sexy. I like her. I like how they use colors, and like the death world is all colorful and the real world is all dark and gross. Kind of like our world, like hell will be way prettier. It just was a bit boring. Maybe I'm too old. Batman. It's like Breakfast. I preferred it to the new one. It was cool to see Tommy Shelby and Batman. It was a cool like crossover. The Dark Knight though is a smash. Joker, dude, Joker. And did he steal the show? Obviously, because that's what people remember is Heath Ledger. It wasn't overhyped. It was the right amount of hype. Me Before You, kind of embarrassing. I love that movie. I cried. Dude, he's just hot and she's just hot. I just seen the mother dragons kissing Sam Clifton was cool. She has really crazy eyebrows and I digged it. I don't know why I enjoyed it so much. Maybe I'm that lonely. I'm like really single, so that movie just made me feel really good, which is concerning actually because it's a very sad movie. Black Phone. Cake. I don't really remember it, so I just think it's Cake. Didn't really impact me as much as I wanted it to. It was a bit too much perv for me, you know? Can you perv it down? Which sounds weird. Kind of freaky, kind of scared me. Couldn't really sleep that night, so guess it worked, but it was Don't Worry Darling. Breakfast. I know people think this is the shittiest movie they've ever seen. It's not about that. It was the experience I had with watching this movie. First, it was all the drama, so I was super curious. The second, I have this problem where if it's rated really badly, I usually think it's going to be really bad and it's a little bit better than the rating. Third, I won tickets to go watch the premiere and I brought a friend, so the whole experience of this movie was really fun. And I really like Florence. Savage Fenty Volfor. This blew me away. I was expecting a fashion show, like a runway and people walking. Fuck my life. They made me feel so lame in a good way. They had dancers, they had singers, they had fashion. They made everyone sexy no matter what you look like. And I wish I gave that energy I felt from that. Am I a Riri fan? Yes. Do I wish she was my mom or my sister or my best friend or anything to do with me? Yes. Pulp Fiction. Sorry. I had so much hype that I was disappointed. Mia was iconic. I get her. The scenes were quite cool, but it's just not for me. I just want to get really invested and you can't with that movie because everyone just dies and kills each other. Elvis and the Chipmunks. It was good. What I really also like in movies is when every scene has a deeper meaning. When I hear Baz Luhrmann, I understand his style, I understand what he does. So it made me more excited, but it's not a smash. It didn't exceed my expectations, it got my expectations. Spider-Man No Way Home is brilliant. Holy shit, I was so over Marvel movies. I didn't care about them for a very long time because they're all basic bitches. But this one, it was fucking amazing. It felt like it was made for me. I think it's gonna peak now. Hopefully it doesn't, and there's something that's as good. Top Gun. It was good. It was really good. But I do have criticism. I hated the relationship. Like, it's so old-fashioned. I thought it was unnecessary, the romance, but everything else was really good. And I haven't seen the original, and I still enjoyed it. It reminded me of Cars 3. Not even lying. That was my favorite movie for a very long time. They probably got inspired by Cars 3. It's all the same shit. It's a live-action version of Cars 3, kinda. Nope. I fell asleep to this movie. Nope was just disappointing compared to Get Out and Us. Nope was just nope. I put it on Cake. I do like how they changed the whole idea of horror movies. Like, instead of having someone scare you, it's just something so large and so big that it's scary. It was a whole nother concept of another way of my brain being scared. They took that stereotype and fricked it. And our last one is Smile. Smile is as good as alcohol. I watched it twice and I got too scared that I had to turn it off. And then I watched it with a bunch of my friends and they got really fucking scared. It taught me a lot, that movie. Don't deal with all your problems because it means nothing. I couldn't predict it and I love trying to predict movies, but I'm happy that I learned to not deal with my issues because what's the point? It changed my life, technically. This is my beautiful list, what I've watched this year. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I don't really mind. All the movies, if you don't agree, that I didn't like, it's just because I'm too stupid for them. Just go with that. Enjoy your life, eat a bunch of chocolate, don't die, live every moment, water the garden, clean up the dog shit, and don't be a shit.